Influenza is one of the most common infectious diseases. It spreads easily. In every flu season, around 20 to 40 million people in the U.S. catch the flu. The CDC estimates that influenza has resulted in up to 710,000 hospitalizations and up to 52,000 deaths per year from 2010 to 2024. Severe cases can even lead to ear infections, sinus infections, and pneumonia. The flu is caused by the influenza virus. Influenza A, B, and C are the most common types that infect people, with A and B being seasonal, as most people get in the winter. A and B also have more severe symptoms, while influenza C has less severe symptoms and the number of cases stays consistent throughout the entire year. Two subtypes of A are swine flu and bird flu. Influenza, like all viruses, rely on a host cell to replicate the genome. Influenza viruses specifically manipulate and shut down the cell division cycle of respiratory cells. They do this to create an ideal environment for viral replication. They also take control of translation, forcing the cell to produce more viruses. Influenza controls the signal for replication, turning it off in the cell. It also controls the signal for cell death, or apoptosis, resulting in the new viruses breaking out of the cell easier. Influenza virus infects human respiratory cells, such as that one, and injects its DNA, and then it stays in there, and the cell doesn't know that it's been infected, and while it's in there, it shuts off cell replication so that the organelles in the cell are only being used to reproduce more viral DNA, or the parts of the virus, such as the head, the tail, and the sticky ends. And once all the parts are assembled to create a virus, it messes with cell signals to induce apoptosis, which makes it easier for the viruses to break out and then infect more cells, and the cycle starts anew. So the flu causes fever and chills since your body's attempting to fight off the infection, leaving you unable to maintain homeostasis. As your body tries to expel the cells influenza is infected and killed, you start coughing, sneezing, and getting a stuffy or runny nose. Other symptoms include body aches, headaches, and fatigue. Prevention. As the virus mutates over time, the best prevention is to get the yearly flu vaccine. Other ways to prevent getting sick are to wash your hands often, cover your mouth when you cough and sneeze, and avoid being around those who are sick if you can. There's antigen-presenting cells that show the viral antigen from the vaccine to the adaptive immune system in your lymph nodes, telling your T cells what to look for later on when you become exposed to the living virus, depending on what vaccine you got, whether it's a weakened one or a killed one. There's treatment as well, as antiviral medication can shorten the time a person is sick for and reduce the risk of severe infection, like ear infection, sinus infection, or pneumonia, as I mentioned before. Without these, you can treat symptoms at home and get lots of rest and drink lots of water.